Yes, thanks for tuning in. It is Wednesday OSD time, episode 337. Yes, it is the NBA All-Star 2015 episode. We're glad to be with you. Hopefully you're walking, talking good. Mother Nature continues to give us gifts. Some of them we say, you know what, we're going to give them back to you. But nonetheless, this is OSD, the original Obsessive Sneaker Disorder Sneaker Talk Show on the World Wide Web. Soon to be celebrating 8 years in the making and then some. That's right. My name is D. Wells, along with the Sole Doctors and Disorderlies around the world. Thank you for tuning in. Man, we had a great show last week. Hopefully you had an opportunity to go back and watch that one. If not, don't worry. Head on over to osdlive.com. The website is there. You can catch up on all the previous episodes. And yes, stay tuned. We've been saying it for a long time. More importantly, I've been saying it for a long time. Pretty soon, the show will be broadcast, or you can certainly go and download the podcast on iTunes, Podcast Pickle, and a number of other places where audio podcasts are distributed. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be playing a lot of catch-up because, yes, I know it's been a long time since we updated our podcast and done our thing there. But we will be updating that soon, as well as TuneIn Radio. Make sure you get the app on your phone. You Android users, you iPhone users, your tablets, all that good stuff. Go download TuneIn Radio. Tune in. Get it. Because we have some exclusive stuff in the works that you're going to only be able to get that content over there. So, man, this is OSD episode 337. Let's get straight to it. The one and only Mr. Paper Chaser is in the building, and hopefully people are ready. Yes, are ready for NBA All-Star Weekend 2015. Man,
we can only hope that they are ready for what's about to go down for All-Star Weekend in New York City.
Man,
the All-Star 2015, split between the borough of Brooklyn and the borough of Manhattan. A lot going on, some of which we're going to talk about tonight on the show, as far as a lot of activity from a lot of companies and what this means for you, the consumer. We got a lot of news of all kinds to report, but more importantly, we're going to be talking about that this evening, and we want you folks to weigh in on episode number 337 here. That's right, number 337. We are not new to the sneaker podcast world. We are the originators of Obsessive Sneaker Disorder, as D. Wells said, almost 8 years. So if you're catching us for the first time tonight, welcome. We hope to have you back. Put your seatbelt on and be prepared for the uncut raw, the real. We don't care what shoes you buy, what shoes you wear, how much you paid, how many pairs you have. We're here to do what we do, which is appreciate, educate, and elevate. So you're going to get an hour or so of that tonight, and hopefully it won't be the last for all the newcomers that we call the Disorderlies around the world. So welcome again to OSD episode number 337. Before we let the homie Adrian, active Adrian, in the building from H-Town, first of all, I got to let everyone know we have a new episode of From the Feet Up, episode number 2, dropping tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. You'll get the plugs all through social media, through all the OSD social media outlets tomorrow. Once again, From the Feet Up, episode number 2 on Network A. Hope you enjoy this one. Some pretty interesting news to share, and I give my take on. So looking forward to dropping that tomorrow. And on the downside, before we bring it back up, I have to say rest in peace to my cousin Darren, Bubba Edmonds, who passed suddenly on Sunday. Sorry to see him go. Was one of my first cousins that I grew up with from the many younger days when I was a little lad running around downtown Brooklyn. So going to send him off on Monday, but until then, Tanisha, the rest of the Reed family and the Edmonds family, hold your head. Make sure y'all be strong. Your boy is here with you. So now, as we get into it, we bring it back up. The homie active Adrian in the building with us. We can unmute him so we can get his mic on now. What's going on, Adrian?
Hey, how y'all doing today?
We good, man. How are you?
Do I sound good or still have some feedback?
Say that again?
Do I sound good or I still have some feedback?
No feedback. Just turn yourself up a little bit or speak a little louder, whichever one works for you.
Everything's good. Getting accustomed to the life here in Memphis.
Yeah.
A city here, so not quite what I'm used to.
Dee and I are going to torture ourselves and ask you this. What's the temperature down there right now?
Inside my apartment is 68. Outside is about 33.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You guys are cold too, huh? All right.
Yeah.
It's been in the 30s all week.
All right.
It's not paradise down here.
Not
Mystery
paradise.
Loves Company. Check that out.
Man.
I talk to my girl every day. Houston is 65, 70. They're living it up.
She just showing off on you. She just showing off.
Exactly.
That's all.
So besides the weather and the small town, I'm having fun. At the position I work, what I'm doing, it's a learning experience. I can't say that I'm having fun. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, well, once you start there, everything else seems to take shape. You just got to continue to have fun with it. So sit tight. We definitely want your take on some of the news of what's going on. So definitely want to get that from you at a certain juncture in time on the show, episode number 337, once again, of OSD. We got to find a way to bring that sound effect. I miss that sound effect. So many people miss that. So here we are with today's stock report. If you're ready, it was somewhat of a mixed bag, more on the green side today, but
yeah, luckily.
Yeah, because it was been bloody for the last month. But Nike finished today at 91.31, down 144 per share. Skechers finished at 62.04, up $3.04 a share today. D. Wells.
Wow.
VF Corporation, parent company for Vans, North Face, Timberland, and so many other brands, finished at $70.07 per share, up 43 cents per share. Under Armour finished at $73.78 per share, up 41 cents per share. Deckers Outdoor Corporation, parent company for Uggs, Teva, a couple of other companies, finished at $74.93 per share, up 37 cents per. Foot Locker Incorporated finished at $53.38 per share, up 9 cents per share on the day. Adidas AG on the OTC market finished at $35.97 per share, up 31 cents per. Puma AG on the ETR markets finished at $174.15 in euros, down 75 cents. eBay on the NASDAQ finished at $55.14 per share, down 13 cents. And rounding out the watch list for us is Finish Line Incorporated, also on NASDAQ. They finished at $23.51 per share, down 24 cents per share. So once again, starting today, the only day you will be able to get the stock report is by tuning into OSD on Wednesdays, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in and watch us to hear the weekly stock report here, only here on OSD's live broadcast. It will no longer be broadcast through the social media outlets every day throughout the week. The only place you'll be able to catch the stock report, if you want it that badly, is if you'll have to tune in here to the live broadcast and catch the podcast rerun. Also, a lot of activity as far as the articles on the top right to the side of the graph for our stocks. So it's a lot going on, but again, it was basically a mixed bag today, more on the green side than the red, but the red was still pretty predominant. Got things going on over in Europe that are affecting the way markets are swinging here, and a whole lot of things popping up with certain companies over here. So that is part of what contributed to the mixed bag of sorts today. What's poking out in your mind, D?
Well, I'm looking at particularly at Skechers. I mean, Skechers was up. I mean, we're talking over $3.04 today.
Yep.
That's a huge jump. I mean, they've had 75, $1, $1.50 increments. I mean, but they just actually reported their numbers earlier, actually end of last week, and then they came out of the gates positive numbers last week, and then they came out of the gates on Monday and basically said that, we're looking to expand our stores even more, and we have a lot of cash on hand. So, Wall Street actually is looking at them saying, again, they've been on the strong buy list for a long time.
Yeah.
Here once again, they're showing and proving literally that Skechers is the real deal. Yeah, they've knocked off, and we know this. I mean, we've talked about it, extensively on the show. They are known for being the knockoffs, but they also have their own line of sneakers, particularly their Go Run line. And, the fact that Meb won the Boston Marathon in 2014 wearing Skechers, that was huge.
Yep.
And then besides that, even though our man Steph Curry actually lost the shootout against Jaden, Miss Jaden, the 10-year-old basketball phenom, Under Armour. We see what Under Armour is doing. They unveiled, and all their stores, Finish Line, Foot Locker, and a number of other stores today rolled on and put out their information about buying officially on Friday the 13th. You can buy the Curry One sneakers in their stores.
That's
and thus,
correct.
Under Armour's stock was up. Yeah, granted, it wasn't over $3 like Skechers, but yet we're talking a 41-cent increase, which is good. It's positive on the green side.
Yes, sir. Indeed, it is.
And I mean, Steve said, and Ridiculous said that how guess what? They opened one of the largest stores, right in his backyard, and guess what? They're looking to continue to do that. They actually, I keep hearing that they're going down somewhere in the DMV, particularly the nation's capital, is what I'm hearing. So that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we know Under Armour's home, HQ is Baltimore, but to actually put a large store in the nation's capital would be a huge move.
Yep.
So.
And the stores work. They do work. They're not gimmicky. They are offering product directly to their particular audience, and they're selling it.
And that becomes I guess that's the mix. Under Armour has their own stores, the box stores as well as the mom and pop stores that carry Under Armour products. Are they now competing? Is Under Armour basically boxing the smaller stores or their traditional doors out now? Are they getting nervous? Okay.
Yes, I say yes because they're not quite splintered enough into specialty things like a Nike or an Adidas.
Right.
Boutiques don't typically carry Under Armour things, so you're looking at the JCPenney's, the Shields, the regional sports stores, and you're always going to get them to send product there. That's just good marketing, because if you send product there for $5 more than you sell at your outlet, everybody comes to your outlet, but you give people the choice.
Right.
So they're not really gonna hurt their bottom line by doing so. They'll actually increase it by coverage.
I walked into a Dick's Sporting Goods not too long ago, and my first 10 steps in the store, it was nothing but Under Armour gear and product. And then I looked to my left, and then it was predominantly, the North Face, because it's winter. It was the North Face, the ski stuff, all the other ski apparel and whatnot. But immediately, like as soon as you walk in the door, all I saw was UA, and I was like, whoa, this is the change. Because before it used to be nothing but Nike and Adidas.
Yeah, they're heavy, man. At Shields, our big regional box up here, I think I showed, it was last summer, and we were talking about colors and things that were coming out, and I showed Paper a picture, and the Under Armour display was off the chain, like twice the space of Nike and Adidas put together.
Crazy.
That's facts.
Crazy.
That's facts. So, before we get into the topic of tonight, we need to remind people, and we'll remind you a couple more times tonight, I'm sure, that the originator of the All-Star Weekend sneaker event, the All-Star Sneaker Summit, from the folks that bring you the illustrious and world-renowned H-Town Sneaker Summit. The All-Star Sneaker Summit's going down on Sunday, February 15th, 3 to 7 p.m., just a few minutes away from Madison Square Garden at the Altman Building. If you've ever been to a sneaker summit, you already know what to expect. If you've never been to a sneaker summit and you've seen the coverage of a sneaker summit, you know what to expect. And for those of you in New York who have always said to me, man, I can't wait to go down to Houston with you guys and see how you do it in Houston for the sneaker summit. Those lines are crazy. The events are off the chain. I can't wait. Then when we call you guys up, we go, yo, we booking for H-Town. Who's rolling? Oh, man, I got to work. I got a family reunion. I got a communion. I got a bunion on my toe. Forget all of that. This weekend is live, 3 to 7 p.m. in New York, All-Star Sneaker Summit at the Altman Building, 18th Street, between 6th and 7th Avenue. You can head over to sneakersummit.com for any and all details you need. They got directions walk-in, they got directions by train, plane, automobile. Any and everything that you need to know exactly how to get there is there. Shout out to Kadoma and the whole staff, including the homie with us right now, Active Adrian, for the All-Star Sneaker Summit and the H-Town Sneaker Summit. Looking forward to having a good time on Sunday in New York at the event. I will be there. If you want to say what up, come by. I'm not a mystery creature. I'm not a, celebrity of sneakers, if you will. I'm a real person. I'm cool. I'm down to earth, and New York is my city. So if you want to come by and say what up, come by and say what up. You won't be disappointed. 3 to 7 p.m. All-Star Sneaker Summit, New York City. A reminder, the original All-Star sneaker event. This is the 3rd annual. Not new to this. So, sneakersummit.com. You can hit us through all our social media outlets. Info at OSD Live. Me, Paper Chaser at OSD Live. D is D at OSD Live. You hit Adrian up. Like, there's so many ways to get in touch with somebody about this event. And it's here in our backyard in New York. And yes, I'm specifically talking to New Yorkers about this one right now because you folks from New York and New Jersey and Long Island and upstate, I always hear this excuse about, oh man, I wish I could go. It looks like such an insane time. Here you go.
There you go.
There you go. Man. Everybody here on the show has been to at least 2 summits. At least. So, it's y'all turn, New York. Time to show out. So,
true.
Show IDs is in the building. What's going on, sir? You can keep that up on the screen for now. Like your distinguished gentleman look. Hashtag Ethan Allen. You can keep that.
Allen, there you go.
So, gentlemen.
Yeah, Paper. I just saw. Hold on 1 second. I just saw a quick video. You know how like stuff pops up in our feeds and whatnot. So, not too far from where you live, where you call your home.
Yep.
This Jordan brand pop-up shop, 166 there in Flatbush.
Yep.
I've been all over the place.
So, I just saw a video, and I'm gonna try to pull it up, and they are doing. Not only are they doing lasering and all sorts of good stuff, but they took over. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. This used to be the spot where they used to have like a little bodega, and then up the block was the Triangle Sports and all that stuff, right?
166 Flatbush, yeah.
So
show me the picture, because I'll tell you what it really. If it's the exact address I think it was, you guys are gonna crack up at what it used to be before it was this. If it's the exact space.
So you gotta love technology, because this is when you say we could win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 166
Flatbush Avenue. All right.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me just. This is 166.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So That is directly across the street from the Barclays Center.
Okay, because like when you zoom around, the Barclays is
Yeah, that's a Google Maps of before the stadium was built.
before the stadium was built, right? Okay, so
that's a Google Earth of before the stadium was built. But that particular area
this is 166 area right here, somewhere like
right now. That 166 before it was this used to actually be a J-Lo had this initiative going on with Verizon called Viva Mobile or Mobile.
Oh, yes.
Where they were catering to the Latin consumer, trying to get them, into the cell phone market from a Latin angle. And it didn't do well, and it closed down after a few months of being open. So that space has been empty for a while.
Okay.
Now, right there where you see the furniture, the yellow sign up on top.
I'll bring it back up. Yeah.
Yeah, that is another sign of gentrification in Brooklyn. That is now a Shake Shack.
So that's 170 Flatbush.
Yeah, that is a Shake Shack now. Furniture House is a Shake Shack, and everything right next door to that has been empty for a little while, but it's going to be the Jordan pop-up.
Man.
Wow.
And my daughter is reminding me that True Religion is over there now, so...
That's a sure sign of gentrification.
Yeah, total sign of gentrification. So this is literally 3 blocks from where I am right now broadcasting the show.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that's where it's going to be. There's a lot going on all over the city. I mean, like we said last week, there's going to be so many official, unofficial after parties for NBA All-Star and the official sneaker event for NBA All-Star and all of this stuff. And it's going to be special invited guests on flyers all over the place. There's going to be so many special invited guests and stuff that they never even knew they was invited to. It's going to make your head spin.
Yeah, well.
But let's talk about everything that's going on, because this being the largest market in a lot of different industries, a lot has went on over the last couple of weeks, if not the last month. You have the largest house of hoops right outside Madison Square Garden, where they put a footwear exhibit in, showcasing some of Nike's basketball history and selling some product in there. You have, across the street from that, you have Melo's Gym, which is has been there for a while. You have Adidas, who, of course, in celebration of the 45th anniversary of the Superstar, they started their activation early, but as some people saw from my OSD posts on Brand Wars, Adidas has been actively targeting Nike as far as their marketing and promotions and being everywhere that they are. And now you can add to that Mr. Con Yeezy and his shoes that are coming out this weekend through the Confirmed app. Just yesterday, Usain Bolt and about 100 treadmills were in Times Square where people were working out with a new Puma model.
That's my shit.
Today, the Token 38 store, which is the Packer shoes and sneakers and stuff store on 38th and Broadway, 38th and 6th Avenue, sold all Reebok stuff today, and the line was around the corner for that. The guy who got the most votes in the NBA All-Star game this year, who happens to be an Under Armour athlete named Stephen Curry, his shoe comes out on Friday.
Well,
talk about a marquee moment for a brand.
Did I forget something?
Iverson will be at the Token 38 store tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay.
One of the models that came out was the all black question.
Yeah. So we got Adidas, Reebok, Nike, Under Armour, and Jordan Brand, of course, goes along with that. You have a whole lot of people clamoring for the consumer's attention these last couple of weeks in New York.
But can you honestly say the last couple weeks? To me, it's been well over a month.
Well, New York has been really aggressive the last couple of weeks because a lot of the activations just hit a couple of weeks ago, like the sneakers and stuff thing with Packer shoes. The Puma stuff is this week.
Yeah.
the Yeezys after the Grammys, we knew that was going to just really.
Well, and you know what? You can throw Skechers in that mix too. I know a lot of people bristle at that, but with Usain Bolt, this is NBA All-Star Weekend, but even Puma knows enough that in this country they don't have an NBA basketball following. So you put your next biggest star up there.
Yep, that's
Skechers just announced the Go Run 4 with Meb.
Okay.
And it's a good-looking shoe. So and marathon season is coming up on the heels of this. So
Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some Skechers installations around there too.
Yeah. So this being a big market with a lot of energy being focused centrally on New York, and as D Wells has on the screen there, you know, some of the photos from, you know, my documenting the war between Nike and Adidas that has been going on for the last couple of months, just within a couple of blocks. And that's just within a couple of blocks, those images are. Who's been doing the best job?
It's tough. I'd give it to Under Armour. I'd give it to the odd man out. You let the two bullies beat each other up and leave you standing on top of the pile with a bona fide star with the most all-star votes, and he's backing it up on the court. I'd say Under Armour is winning.
All right. Steve's voted for Under Armour. Adrian, who do you vote for? Based on everything that's said and everything you know, and the fact that you might be up here in like a couple days, maybe.
I wish I was going to be up there. Unfortunately, my plans didn't work out like the way I wanted. But going back to your question, I think Adidas. Adidas is really concentrating their energy in New York, doing it not the right way, but you know, garnering the most attention. I like Puma because I know they have something up their sleeves next week. So they're gonna, you know, do this Usain Bolt activation and then capitalize on that next week with another great presentation.
Yeah. Show IDs. What do you think? Show IDs.
I'm having mic issues. Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm sorry. Repeat the question.
Who's doing the best job of getting the most attention out of us New Yorkers?
Adidas.
All right. Tell us why you think so.
Why?
Yeah.
That's all I hear everybody talking about right now is Adidas, 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 and downloading that app in New York City. Nike just opened a store that D sent us at Soho. What is that store, D? You sent me an email earlier.
The Zoom room or something like that?
Yeah. Right there on Lafayette and West Houston.
Yep.
But, I mean, my coworkers who aren't even into sneakers are all talking about Adidas, Adidas. I wonder what Adidas is going to have. What is Adidas going to do? Did you get the apps, this confirmation app? I mean, Adidas is driving just not New York, everybody crazy. But since it's All-Star Weekend in this time, I have to go to Adidas.
I'm going to weigh in, even though I'm somewhat biased by what I've been working on, of course, over the last 2.5, 3 weeks prior with Adidas and everything that they've been doing, especially with the celebration of the Superstar, which kicked off their presence full-fledged in New York leading up to this season. I have to say it is Adidas, in my opinion, simply because they wanted to go dig deep into the archive and remind people that the Superstar was at one point the perennial basketball shoe that changed the game. And they still have ongoing every week. They still have ongoing exhibitions and stuff going on at 138 Worcester, which, you know, of course, I was honored to do the kickoff that weekend with teaching about the history of the Superstar, but they kept going after that. Jamel Shabazz, somebody's there tomorrow. I can't remember. Skateboarder, help me out. Somebody, he's going to be there signing and customizing shell toes and signing stuff tomorrow. But at the same time that they put the Superstar back on radar, and there's been a lot of press. If you look at all the sneaker sites, Adidas has been getting a lot of press. Their New York City pack for the ZX Flux, you know, the female versions, the Superstar Ups.
That Xeon pack is launching this weekend, and that's crazy.
And then to just put the cherry on top and just say, yeah, we're not playing around. Kanye West and Jay-Z are doing a concert in Midtown Manhattan on Friday.
On Friday.
And the Yeezy comes out through the Confirmed app on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't care what anybody else is doing. Nike always has that big presence all around town because Nike is always well connected to the basketball scene and culture of New York City, so much so that people just take it for granted. And Adidas has done an excellent job for at least a month now of making sure you realize they're in the game. And we're going to get some of your money this weekend.
Pay up, sucker.
Exactly. Pay up, sucker. I mean, the Yeezys are going to be $350 through the Confirmed app. You got Damian Lillard's shoe out. You know, you got the Brooklyn Nets version of the Crazy Eights. You got the New York Knicks version of the Crazy Eights. You got the East River Rivalry pack of superstars. You got all the other collaborations of superstars. And let's not forget Pharrell's on deck. Adidas has really got everybody's attention with all the stuff leading up to NBA All-Star Weekend and beyond. And I say and beyond because after that, everybody else is going to go back in their corner for a little bit and scurry away until they have something else to talk about. And Adidas is just beginning to start hitting us with stuff.
Man. Yeah, that Zeno is going to be crazy, man.
And let's not forget, there's a whole lot of Y3 shit getting ready to come out for spring. A whole lot of Y3.
I'm mad.
And Y3 is Yeezy prices.
Yeah. Yeezy is actually discount Y3 prices.
You know, for some of those models, that's right. So, and people are super curious. If the one thing I've heard people say, as much as they want to crap on Yeezy, he's an asshole. He loves himself, and you got the memes everywhere. I put one meme up on my Instagram page, OSD Live on Instagram. That, of course, everyone has got now. Is Yeezy sitting there, and he goes, "Y'all still copping, though." And that's going to be a fact. It's going to be a fact.
Yeah.
Total fact.
I hate that.
People are still going to cop. Regardless, whether they want it for themselves or they want it for somebody. Like, there's eBay pages up right now with Yeezys on pre-sale.
Yeah, exactly.
For thousands of dollars.
So mad. I'm so mad right now.
It's not almost. For me, it's very comical because it's so true. I didn't watch the Grammys because I was busy watching The Walking Dead. I'm not even gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Right? But
I'm with you.
I my phone was going off. I mean, people were giving play-by-play of what was happening, and when people saw when Kanye performed, and he's wearing the sneakers and the velour suit, you would have thought, I don't know, like, I can't even compare it to any other time. You know, that would only happen because of social media. It was so big, and people were talking about it. And I'm sitting there going, man, back in the day, we'd have to wait for the news to come on to see what so-and-so was wearing, and
we totally would.
Recaps and all that stuff. Here we are now. We can watch it in real time, and someone who's not even watching it, me, can stay up to date because of certain people that I'm connected with on social media. And it's crazy. Crazy. And then, of course, people say, well, so D, what do you think? I'm getting hit up. I'm like, I haven't seen him yet, but
coming out in a comb bra.
You know? You know? Maybe if they came in Gore-Tex right about now with a lug sole, I would rock them. Shit, it's Snowmageddon up in here, but you know, like it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been nuts, man. I haven't seen anything like it. That's for sure.
Adidas has the biggest buzz. I mean, between Grammy night, Kanye and Pharrell on stage. Pharrell wearing a custom Adidas outfit and his usual.
Not just him too. Hey, it was him and his wife. Like people didn't even know Pharrell was married.
Yep.
And you're like, who's that chick with him on the red carpet in the Adidas tracksuit or one piece, you know, jumpsuit? They're like, yeah, that's his wife.
Yep. And we got Ridiculous showing off some of the other offerings from Adidas.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
Adidas has just been the busiest, and it's been for a month or so, a few weeks before everybody else jumped in the fray.
Yeah.
And then they have the ultimate lead up and build up for their product
You know what?
out of everyone.
I'm really happy because I'm like, okay, Adidas is the official sponsor or endorser of
They're the licensee for the NBA
for the
power.
NBA.
Yep.
Exactly. There you go.
Now he
Ridiculous,
just showing off.
right? They're the official endorser for the NBA.
Yep.
But let's be honest, a lot of athletes are wearing either Nike or Jordan sneakers or product for that matter.
It's
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
It's true.
That's true.
It's true. But for this particular weekend,
Adidas put their foot down.
they got great
They really-
representation on the backs of everyone who's an all-star.
I mean, look at Lillard.
And
right?
they got
I think you
Damian
were starting
Lillard.
to talk about that too earlier.
And they got John Wall.
Yep.
Tim Duncan is playing.
Yep.
Um,
TD. This might be his last one, y'all.
They actually just launched a header for the website that had all their all-stars on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
they did.
Yep.
Yeah, they put all their all-stars listed right on the website, and they connected
Smart.
them to the gear that you can buy relating to those all-stars. Here,
Very
I'll screen
smart.
share that
So,
right now.
Very smart.
so let's evaluate this based on all the things that we know make for a strong presence. They're the licensees for all of the apparel in the NBA, right? They have all-stars playing in the all-star game, right?
There
Yeah.
we go.
They have a big boy presence in New York, right? Big billboards, money being spent for marquee big areas in New York City. And to top it off, when you step away from all of that, they have two of the biggest names in music who are going to be entertaining for everybody after these games are over.
Yeah.
No other brand has that. So I say Adidas wins. I agree with Sho and I agree with Adrian. Adidas wins on their efforts leading into the All-Star battle.
So this is what caught me by surprise today. The fact that Nike decided to launch their app today.
Their sneakers app.
Of all days to launch it, they launched it today. They must have been so heated. Because let's be honest. We know how competitive this industry is. We know that Nike likes to basically say, we're number one, you're number two, or you're no longer number two, and we're going to tell you you're no longer number two. So the fact that Adidas came out the gate first with their app, in conjunction with Kanye West, Yeezy, all that must have, I could only imagine some of the conversation. I would have loved to be a fly on that wall.
Well, that burnt them up for two reasons. Number one, they were late to the dance, got out after Adidas. And number two, Adidas applied it to a shoe that
has nothing to do
is for someone who used to work with them, who again has the hottest shoe in the game at the moment.
Hey, can I chime in here?
Please do.
We've been waiting for you, brother.
I think it was man, I've been waiting to get on, but I thought of something today, and there were rumors that Kanye wanted to do a Jordan, right? And he was shot down. I don't know if you guys remember hearing that.
I remember
We've all heard
hearing,
that.
I also remember hearing it was connected to him wanting guaranteed money like an athlete contract.
Yep.
But Nike goes to one of his close friends, Don C.
Yep.
And gives him a Jordan after he leaves for Adidas.
Yep.
And the Don C came out right before the Yeezy did.
True.
It did.
I think that the cards have been shuffled so many times, and you have old Nike people working at Adidas and old Adidas people working at Nike, and the hear it through the grapevine. We're working on an app, they're working on an app. It's just who's beating who to the punch right now. I don't think anything's tip-top secret anymore. There's probably a lot of leaks.
Facts.
Behind closed walls, but I just thought that
Just blame it on the
I
three
remember
amigos.
that. I heard somebody saying like, I hope they re-release the Don C's during All-Star Weekend, and that it just dawned on me like, oh yeah, Kanye wanted to do a Jordan, and there he is sitting there with his close friend. Kanye's got the Adidas on, and Don C's got the Jordans on. It's like, I don't know.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, the Don C shoe only sold because people know that's Kanye's man. Number one. Number two,
You think so? Okay.
that shoe
I
still.
don't agree with that.
That's totally true because if you put that.
There's people down here in the South that probably don't know who Don C is, and they just want it because it's a luxury Jordan.
They bought that shoe because it's Kanye's man's shoe. Trust me.
See, I have to disagree there too, babe. I think it's because it's a luxury Air Jordan 2. And it's blue. It's different. It's never been done before.
It's not blue. It's Pantone.
Well,
It's the same scheme that Adidas just did for Pharrell. They're just playing with it slowly but surely.
When I first saw the Don C shoe, I thought it was the new Vashti.
I did. You know what? I'm with you. I thought something like that too. But guess what? Could there be something bigger here going on that we don't even know about? I mean, let's talk about this for a second. We know, Kanye, and Nike parted ways. He went over to Adidas, but his man's over at Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think they're close? Like,
yeah,
they're very close.
And Kanye told them, "Hey, man, get your money.
Go get your money.
Here's
Exactly.
what they wouldn't do for me. So make sure you
go
can
get
sell
it.
them on your own site, and make sure you can come out with the hat
Exactly.
to match.
Strategy.
You got to buy the hat to secure their pair, and like
That conversation,
That's marketing right there. What else do you want? I mean,
that conversation said, "Yo, get our money."
Pretty much. Exactly. I was
Our
eventually
money.
going to get there. Get our money. I mean, it makes sense to do it as basically, you know what? You go on that team and over there. I'm going to be on this side, but guess what? We're going to meet, after the game, and we're going to go home together.
But
I mean, let's be honest. It really could be that which is going on. And
I hope they did have that kind of strategy.
I mean, think about it. Don C's not cahoots. Freudian slip of the tongue. I'm sorry. Don C's in with Mitchell and Ness. Mitchell and Ness is owned by Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah, on some conspiracy shit.
Okay. When Kodoma raised a great point.
Nah, y'all going deep. I do agree. I do agree with the point. I agree with the point. I'm not sure that it goes that deep. Like Paper said, it would be impressive if they had that conversation.
That would
But
be
I don't
impressive.
think it goes that deep simply because of this. If that were the thing, and I will give Kanye all types of credit for his knack for viability and the right time to throw a fucking tantrum.
Yes.
I'll give him that.
Yep.
However,
that is
however, when he left Nike, he was hurt. That was not a planned tantrum. Your boy was hurt over that whole deal there.
Considering I was at one of the shows where he rambled on for 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was.
We know a Kanye tantrum for marketing versus a Kanye tantrum for him being hurt. And there's a particular brand of crazy when your boy's feelings are hurt.
that's called showmanship.
It's called Hennessy. It's called brown liquor too.
I'll give him showmanship. Like I definitely think there is a level of showmanship to it. But like Paper said, there's a moment where he comes unhinged. You can see that there's some real crazy happening.
I got a question for Leo, who just joined the call. Leo, Sean thinks the only reason people bought the Don C is because that's Kanye's boy. Would you agree with that? The Don C Jordan.
You talking about just Don?
Yeah.
Probably not just because of that. I think the main reason is because they found out they were uber limited. I mean, you know how that shit goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I, to be honest with you, I don't even think, and I can only speak for down here, most of these people that out here that went for him, they have no idea that's even affiliated with Kanye.
Yeah, I told you, man. The South is
Wow.
totally different. It's just
Wow.
George.
Yeah, people. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know it until having a
I didn't.
conversation
Yeah, I
with
didn't know.
our Nike Eaton. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't follow Kanye like that. You know what I mean? I could really care less about Kanye to be honest with you. But
But see, that's the wonders of Kanye. You don't have to follow him. You know he did something stupid somewhere, and everybody's talking about it. Which
well,
is why
you
his
know what's
shoe
funny?
is in status. For me, in status, it's way ahead of a Don C. Jordan because there's so much
I,
pride to it being his shoe.
I feel what you're saying, and that is true to a certain extent. But I refuse to give him the time of day. And this is coming from somebody who was, and I still am, a huge fan of Through the Wire. You know, I thought that was brilliant. I think the brother is he. What I always say when I talk about Kanye is he is the example of what they say the borderline between being genius and being stupid. You know what I'm saying? And being dumb as hell at the same time. You know, like he's that he's you know how you always heard that the old saying it's a thin line between being a genius and being insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He is the perfect example of that. You know what I mean? Like he
You
takes
know,
his
better walk
genius
that line.
he takes his genius to the next level, and it's almost to the point where I don't even, like I said, I can't even acknowledge him anymore because, like, for instance, that bullshit he did over the weekend. You know what I mean? Like, that's the prime example of why I can't. I refuse to even talk about it. I'm not gonna give you the time of day because of the dumb shit that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where I met with it. You know, and like I said, this is coming from somebody who I actually followed Kanye early on. I was a big Kanye fan. I thought it was dope when he did the even though I've never been a fan of none of his shoes. They all, to me, they all trash. But you know, once again, I can't acknowledge him for the dumb shit that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like he does so much dumb shit. To me, it overrules the good shit he does.
I told people I like.
That's just my personal opinion.
I
But
was
but here
listening to.
but here's why I say Kanye's shoe at Adidas is winning on so many levels because you know enough about him to know that you don't want to pay attention, which means you paid attention.
Yeah, but that's like saying Charles Manson was winning because he killed people. Like I get it, good news
Hey,
and bad news, and I
it
get
is
it.
what it is.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm saying at some point we have to be the smart ones to say that is not a fucking win. Like we gotta stop that because
I hear
we
you.
do have a bunch of young idiots out there. Like people are defending him like he's putting food on their table. It
Listen,
amazes me.
everything you're saying is absolutely correct, which is why there's an elevated status behind Kanye's shoe. Because
Right.
what are we all gonna do? What are we all gonna do when we see somebody walking down the street with that shoe?
Duck face him.
We're gonna have some kind of reaction.
True.
No, you know what? The thing is, you're right, but unfortunately, it's nothing that we can do about it because regardless of whether or not I want to give it any kind of attention, you have so many people out here, and especially in this day and age of social media, like, to be perfectly honest with you, that he turned me off from looking at any sneaker websites this week because every time I tried to do my routine of going through and looking, it's like, you know what? I turned that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Like I found
But
myself.
you know what?
You turned it into that off.
What Leo said.
I had to turn that shit off, and now I found myself looking at the news a little bit more this week because I didn't look at the sneaker websites that I normally go to because of his dumb ass. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's where I'm saying he wins because now you have to make a conscious effort to steer away from him.
You're right. He does win in the grand scheme of things.
But see, here's my thing.
Personally, I really want to punch him in his fucking face.
For me, I don't mind that he's out doing his thing. I expect that he's gonna throw a tantrum, say something dumb, like in the media sense. For me, it's that there's so many, and this goes back to just the maturity of culture on the whole. Here you have a bunch of people defending, saying that's just Kanye, that's what he do. Meanwhile, the subtext is he told a man that plays 14 instruments, produced, wrote, and recorded his
Right.
own damn album in his own
Right.
house that he needs to respect artistry. That's idiotic.
All because you're trying to suck. All
What did
because you're
somebody
trying to suck
say?
Jay-Z's dick.
What did somebody say on Instagram? This is what I saw on Instagram. Somebody said, Kanye's defending somebody that needs 4 songwriters to write a song before they can sing it against somebody that knows how to play 14 instruments.
Yes,
Right.
and that's my thing. Is like, Kanye, get your money, say dumb shit, walk through airports throwing tantrums. Good for you. But now we're talking about factual information where a whole generation of idiots are celebrating this dude when he says the dumbest of things.
Unfortunately, we live in a society now where we have so many followers and nobody we don't have enough thinkers anymore, and people are not thinking for themselves.
Now I'm sorry, Leo. Hold on one second. I had to put the shoe up because it's just been brought to my attention that we should be posting the shoe for all the people who have no clue what the Yeezy looks like yet.
Oh God, there's somebody who doesn't know.
Yeah. So the shoe is posted. This is a shot of what the shoe looks like currently in the Adidas store window on the corner of Broadway and Houston, I believe.
Wow.
The Zoom moccasin.
And you know what's funny? Like, even with my dislike, because I don't want to say, my mom always told me that you don't hate people, baby. You can't stop. You can't hate nobody. But with my disdain for him, I still have to look at the shoe objectively. And objectively, it's trash. And objectively, it looks like a updated version of a Jesus sandal. That's what it looks like to me.
To me, it's a teardown of his other shoe in a non-athletic sense. He
No
literally
question.
ripped off
No
Nike.
question. It looks just like the damn one of his old. I don't even keep up with the numbers and shit with the Yeezy bullshit, but it looks like that
the
gray
one.
one that he came
It
out
looks
with
like the
a
Yeezy
couple
one.
of years ago with the strap and everything. If you put them
Looks
up
like
next
the
to each
Yeezy
other,
one.
they look very similar to one another. It's like he didn't even take no time to do something different.
Including the toe guard. That goes all the way
And those
around.
sneakers is from Zara. They should be those is Zara highs or
Oh my God. They need this medium T-shirt with them.
yo,
Hey.
what? Come on. That
Hey.
APC shirt he sold for like $200.
Hey, we got to read some of the Twitter comments. So my homie Jamal goes by Mac and Cheese on Twitter. He says, "Don't forget, Ye still has albums to sell." Facts. He sure does.
True.
And Archie, Pensol alum, Archie, from way over in Asia. What's up, homie? He said, "Never thought I would hear gentrification on the show." Talking about 166 Flatbush with a Jordan story.
What I'll say about Kanye, as much as like I said, I don't care for him. I can say this: the brother has done enough for himself where he has people talking about him, whether they like him or not, and he has people that are blind, that are so loyal to him, that blindly follow him, that will blindly pay $350 for the pleasure of rocking his bullshit. And if you can do that, you know what? I don't knock no man for his hustle. If you can do that, and you got enough people willing to do that for you, because it's to the point now, it doesn't matter what he puts out. He could put out the worst shoe in the history of mankind, and people will still buy it.
True.
Listen,
Wait, so you saying he could take Jeremy Scott's title?
I was just going to say that.
He's already taken it. He's already taken it.
I was just going to say that. He is on level with Jeremy Scott right now, only because this is his first shoe with Adidas, and Jeremy Scott's got like 20. But he's on pace. He's on pace if he keeps this up.
Yeah.
I think he's past him.
No, you can't pass him with one shoe.
No, he definitely ain't passed Jeremy Scott.
You can't pass him with one shoe.
Can I make a bold? But can I make
It's
a
not
bold
just the shoes, though, y'all. Listen, it's everything. Let's think about some of the albums he just put out not too long ago. Some of this bullshit is not good music. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not.
Hey, pardon the pun. He said it's not good music.
I see what you did right there.
No, the pun. It's no pardon. The pun was there for a reason.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
y'all, listen. This man can whatever he puts out, people are going ape shit for it. I don't care if it's sneakers, it's music.
Because
It doesn't matter. to me, in my eyes, he's past Jeremy Scott. He's transcended Jeremy Scott.
Did you hear the Ryan Seacrest interview today?
No.
Thank
No.
God I didn't.
He compared himself to John Lennon.
Hey,
He said Paul McCartney is lucky to be working with me right now because
Oh my God.
angst. And the last time
That's
he
a step
worked with
down from
somebody
calling
with that
himself a
much
god.
angst, who was it?
Oh my God, this man is funny. Like he's
But I think
comical.
it's a machine. I think it's orchestrated. I mean, to tell you,
Of course it is.
it's
Oh,
a
no
hype
doubt, no doubt. But that's the
But
beauty. That's the genius that he
machine,
had.
a
But the
paparazzi
thing,
machine.
but the thing that makes
on
it,
all
the
cylinders.
thing that makes it its own beautiful brand of actual crazy, is he does have some actual crazy mixed into this shit.
Yeah,
Like
and
I was telling somebody the other day, I was telling somebody this. You got Jay-Z sitting there with his wife. Okay, if another man defended my wife so vehemently, I would be like, "Yo, player, what's going down? Like, why are you always jumping to my wife's defense? I'm sitting right here."
yeah. I mean, you can
Come on, son.
go all the way back to vaudeville and Ringling and Barnum and Bailey Circus and Michael Jackson. Like, the freak show is what sells. People get tired of the same old
And the
stuff
truth is,
over time. You gotta keep them
the
interested.
truth is, to that machine, he's the jester. When he's the hype man, he's too
Yeah.
big MC. He's jumping around on stage with a hammer. While Jay-Z and Beyonce sit
Was
there
it
calmly
too
playing
legit?
King and Queen.
too legit to quit.
Exactly. Like if you look at it for what it is, he's the jester.
Legit.
Too legit.
He thinks he's a god, but he's a jester.
Yo,
While Jay-Z and Beyonce are king and queen, Kanye's out there causing madness. He's the court jester
now
to this
listen.
shit.
The fact that we mentioned two more key names on Adidas is more proof of why they win. Because let's not forget, the Super Bowl was not too long ago,
True.
and everyone saw what Katy Perry did
True.
and what she did it in. And when she came out on that little, Puppetron, fake Voltron lion, she was wearing Jeremy Scott.
Well, actually, her and Missy are Adidas son.
Right. Well, this is
Right.
what I'm getting ready to get at. But she came out the gate on that big ass gold flaming lion.
Yeah, the Voltron line was the shit, man.
God.
I'm about to say that Voltron line was that shit for real.
Yo, she was wearing the flames from Jeremy Scott on her outfit.
I bet Jeremy designed the lion too.
He might have had a hand in it. I don't know.
Voltron, baby. He
does.
knows.
He does all-
Cannot steal the power of
cartoons.
lion and say he designed it.
I mean, that's what all his stuff
He knows
is.
to steal it.
All of his stuff is inspired from toys from his childhood.
Yeah, it's
Now,
Jeremy
here's the
Scott.
interesting thing about the Katy Perry lion she came out on in the Super Bowl. It was made in Portland, Oregon.
It was. It was.
It was made in Portland.
Yeah.
AKA by DJ Derivative, AKA Jeremy Scott.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna step in here and say that I don't know. I like the shoe.
Oh God.
You know,
What shoe?
I like
Which shoe? Come on.
Which shoe do you like,
I'm
Doma?
a big fan of Yeezy. No, I'm gonna
Look, Leo got up and walked away. He got up. He said, "I'm
Oh, I
out."
can't hear him. I can't hear him.
Hold on.
my piece.
Go ahead.
I see that, it's the first time that he's been able to create his own silhouette. It's got unique cues. It's got cues from the Nike. It's got the Adidas Boost. I like it. I don't think it's the only shoe we're going to see from Kanye on the Adidas line, though. And
No, it's
I'll make a bold prediction. I would be willing to bet that we're going to see more shoes as soon as tomorrow. So there was someone said they have 9,000 pairs of Yeezys for this weekend in New York City. And I don't think it's 9,000 pairs of this particular shoe.
No, I know the number, and it ain't that.
I bet he has, maybe some Stan Smiths, maybe some ZX, maybe some Superstars. They threw this one out there to kind of, test the waters, but He's supposed to unveil his entire line at 4 p.m. tomorrow, so we'll see what else it has in store. I know the shoe's been beat up, but I don't think
They have put out a press release saying that there are 9,000 pairs of this shoe.
I don't know.
You asking or you saying?
No, I'm saying that I got a buddy of mine who's a Kanye freak, and he actually I had a conversation with him, and he sent me the press release
9,000 pairs of this particular shoe.
of that particular shoe, and they're all supposed to be in New York.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to book a flight right now to go to New York just to cop it.
I don't know. What number did you hear, Sean? I personally heard closer to 1,000, not 9,000.
Yep, I'm where you're at.
I'm about there. That's what I heard.
I'm where you're at.
Y'all
So,
paying more attention to me.
I think there's 9,000 pairs, but it may not all be the same shoe. But if it is, that's not unprecedented. Like for big Jordan releases, there are stores that get 1,000 pairs of Jordans.
Well, we need to remember too that there's two sets of numbers we're dealing with when you deal with this kind of release. They would be stupid to just release this shoe in New York. Number one. So after the X amount of pairs are done through the initial reservations through the confirmed app, since it's only eligible for people in New York, you'd be absolutely positively stupid not to offer this shoe to the rest of the country, if not the world. So,
Oh, you know they're gonna do a separate release. They're gonna do a separate release.
What if there's people inside of Adidas that felt just like the way you guys feel about the shoe, and they're afraid that it's not going to do as well?
They don't care. It's gonna make money. They know it's gonna make money.
In New York?
when a shoe is done and it reaches that stage, it's all about margins.
Yep.
That's really all it's about. And
It's
if
gonna make money
indicators in the
regardless.
industry already say, based on looking at eBay and looking at the frenzy and all of that, that there's a demand for this shoe even at the price of $350.
Yeah, they already made the phone call. Start pumping them. Right?
And let me tell you, some of the blogs out there and some of the people talking about them, you know damn well they don't like them, and they still giving them props because they got hooked up.
Yep. Anyone that's got their shoe already for free loves the shit out of this shoe.
And every retailer outside the New York area is calling Adidas like, "Where's my allocation?"
Yep.
I've already had retailers tell me, "Yo, I can't believe I'm not on the allocation list." What? I'm like, you mad at that?
I mean, listen. If I was a boutique owner, I'd be mad because I would want to get some of this money.
And that's my point. Is some of these boutique owners got them on foot because they know they need to sell them. It don't mean they like the shoe. It just means it's margin. It means it's money. That's why it's going to sell. That's why at Adidas headquarters, they don't give a damn whether they like it or
not. Putting
not.
on my foot is something totally different now.
But my natural reaction to that when they tell me something that I know is the reason why they want it is, you mad at that? Really? Like, that's my natural reaction. That's not my business reaction. That's my
natural.
You mad at that? What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, I'm sorry. Profit margins. Make money. I'm sorry.
Right.
Then I got to jump back in to, Professor Pate and realize.
I'm just waiting for Nike to drop like every colorway in the last couple of Yeezys. That's what I really want to do.
Don't think they won't do it. I'm not saying I know. I'm just saying don't think they won't do it this weekend.
Listen,
flood the
best thing that Nike could do that could counter this, and I don't care. I'm gonna give them this one away because they probably thought about it anyway, and probably might be having it ready as an activation link. I would be crazily excited and happy about the fact that they put that on their new sneakers app in ID.
Oh, that would be beautiful. And ID, if they did this new joint ID.
Don't put it past them to flood the market with his old shoes.
If they're late to the market with the app, and Adidas is already winning, which is as evidence of this conversation on the show among many others, Adidas is already winning. They got this weekend. They won. So the only way Nike can really come back to me and win right now, besides the hype of people lining up, camped out for retros outside all these stupid activation spots, would be to take their app that's late and you offer some shit like that,
That would be crazy.
They would shut down the internet, literally, to put the
I
Yeezys
would
back
love
out
it.
through that sneakers
No
app and
doubt,
make it an
no
ID
doubt.
shoe.
They
We
still
would
haven't
only
ID'd.
we would only have CNN left.
They still haven't ID'd any retro Jordans either, right? Only the they haven't ID'd any retro Jordans yet, right? Only
Y'all want to be all up in
No.
the video. Y'all need to come over. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong movie.
The only Jordans that have hit ID have been Team Jordans from some of the Team Jordans from the heyday, but no signature
Exactly.
Jordans.
And they did that special one that with the like the different bottom. I can't remember the name of that joint.
that would be pretty cool for the Jordan 30th anniversary to let people actually ID some Jordans. But
I wouldn't want to see that.
No,
I kind of wouldn't either, but
I wouldn't want to see
I don't
that
want to.
because
There's enough
That's the
Jordans
last
out there already.
frontier.
We don't need any more.
you know why I
That's
said
the
I wouldn't
last.
want to see that though?
That's
Because
the
the way
last
some of
frontier.
these, what you said, Leo?
I said that to me that would be Nike's last frontier. Like the only way I see them ever IDing Jordans is if basically they were about to go bankrupt and the company was about to die, and that's the only way they could probably revive it. That's why I don't think they would ever do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they would ever do it unless they had to pull it. Like that's the red button. Like panic. You know what I'm saying? Like they would do that like last minute. Like all right, well this is all we have left. You know what I'm saying? Like that would
You
be the
mean
only way
ID
they
and
do it.
signatures, Leo? You mean ID and signatures?
Yeah, IDing actual Nike numbered retros. If they did that, that's their last frontier. Like if they would only do that if, like I said, Nike was about to go under and there was only one way to save them. That would be the only way to save them.
That's gonna be so hideous.
You
But
saying that
just think
that's
though,
their
just think,
EMP?
and the
That's
reason
their
why I say
EMP
that,
for
just
the
think
shoe
think
game.
how many people who are not sneakerheads who would come out of the woodwork just to make
Word.
their favorite Jordan.
No, you're totally right. You are so on base that it's not even funny about
Yep.
that being the red
That's
button.
the
That's the
EMP.
red. That's the red button. That's the only way they would do that.
But you know what's so scary to me is the fact that outside of the retro Jordans a lot of these kids wear now, they can't fucking dress to begin with. So to give them that kind of power,
Yeah.
it'll be ugly. I would rather than just stick to the retro and to just try and figure it out.
Well, you know what? That's to me. I told a buddy of mine. That's the only way I could see myself saying, "I'm done." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm done with the sneaker thing because I have so many of my buddies like who are, oh man, I'm retiring. I'm go through that bullshit, whatever. You know, I have a lot of my buddies who go through it year in, year out, and the only way I can see myself ever, I say I'm in this till death, and the only way I can see myself getting out is if that happens.
man, I'm gonna
I love that would just make you just walk away.
Yeah, that would be like, you know what? That's it. You know, I can't take no more of this shit. You know, like that's it.
Throw his hands.
That's hilarious. You
Man,
just Jesus sandals forever.
Hey Adrian, if you can screen share that. The homie Reef from Sneds was already on the app.
Yeah.
He's already on the app wars.
I wish I knew how to screen share.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm gonna post it up right
I'm
now.
curious on why they decided to do an app all of a sudden.
Because the Flux app worked once they finally launched it.
No, I think that the app is a brilliant idea. I mean, there are raffle tickets, and raffle tickets are archaic. I mean,
What's so brilliant about it though? I mean, all you're gonna do is crash that app 100
It's not
million
so
times.
much. It's not so much that the app itself is brilliant. I think it's just.
to be seen.
I don't think it's that the app itself was brilliant. I think that they've been the first to step out on a new method, like we've always talked on the show. Who's gonna do it differently, or who's willing to try it differently? I think this is different.
Honestly,
I mean,
there's something.
realistically, does anybody really feel like they're gonna have a leg up to actually get some of this shit?
Hey,
Over the bot wars, probably.
Really? You really believe that?
Well, because an app is
I
specific.
got some
You
real
can't
estate
write
down
a-
here that I want to show you too.
But you can't write a bot for an app.
yeah,
app
you can write a bot for an app.
is
I think you can write a bot.
Not yet.
No, no.
Yeah.
Here. Let me tell y'all from the standpoint that I've developed an app. Your the internet is open when you open a shopping cart. When you are private on an app, that's coming from a solitary server that is protected in a totally different way. And while you might be able to write a bot for it, you can't recode the internet. You can recode your app.
That's true.
Yeah. But here's something that has happened that is a workaround, which is why I know that there are going to be people in New York, outside of New York, who are going to get those shoes. There are fake GPS programs out there, fake GPS apps.
Come on.
Yes.
Dude,
and
that's not new.
Listen, and people are already using those to fake their location for when the Yeezys come out on the confirmed app.
And what are they?
They used to do that with DVD players when you could change the zone code.
But you gotta show up to the store with your phone to pick it up.
Now, when I found out about it, I was like, oh shit. This is gonna be serious.
No, they had to think of that.
It can be done.
I would hope.
I'm hoping they can, because you got to be ready for all these different workarounds.
Bruh,
as far as GPS goes.
Here's why I know that's true. You remember back when the Foursquare app was hot and everybody was checking in every damn thing?
Yep.
They had to rewrite a code to keep people from cheating on that app.
Yep, that's right.
You could fool the GPS.
Yep. There are fake GPS location apps. Anyone can download them, where your phone will show you're in one place and you're really in another.
And all you got to do is pick it. It's just like Star 69 in the mobile age.
And then you don't have to pay to pick up the shoes. There may be a lot of reserved pairs that never get picked up, is what you're saying.
Even Instagram, where you go up to the top and you create a post, you can edit the location.
Yep.
I think that's a bad thing, that you don't have to pay until you pick up your shoes.
Why is that a bad thing?
I think you should pay.
That's no different than That's no different than a raffle that you don't show up for.
Yeah, it's no different.
It's the same thing.
I don't know.
It's the exact same thing. If somebody don't show up to pick up
I agree with you, but the point of the app is to get around all the flaws of the raffle.
Nope, the point of the app is marketing.
I was about to say, that is not the point of that.
The point of the app is pure marketing.
Point of the app
is the marketing of the app is to get around all the flaws of the raffle.
Nothing has anything to do with the flaws of a raffle.
Yes, that's what the press release says. Like, this will solve all of the problems of overhyped sneakers.
That's called spin, bro.
No, that's bullshit, because they just created a new medium for the hype.
That's called spin. They spin it for that's something to tell the parents that it's safer. That's something to tell law enforcement that it's safer.
Yo, you heard me just say that there are dudes who are going to use the fake GPS apps.
Just go look at the SNED drawing.
You know, so again, all of these we have been on this a long time. We started this conversation as 5 brands who are actively marketing and pushing themselves in New York City and beyond during All-Star Weekend.
Who are the 5 brands?
Puma. Well, you got 4 if you count Nike and Jordan as one. But Nike, Jordan, Puma, Adidas, Under Armour.
Reebok's not in there?
Excuse me, Reebok. Yeah, it is 5.
Reebok is in there, yep.
Yes, Reebok. 5.
I mean, they got Iverson showing up tomorrow. They got Shaq the next day, and Kemp.
Yeah, they're in there.
The last day, so
5. Yes, 5.
And they had a huge line today. They released shoes before anybody, right?
I walked past that line today. It was a very huge line, and Mike Packer was out there himself, and I walked past there and saw it today for myself. That line was stretched around.
About them Furies. I'm so mad about them Furies.
Under Armour's really quiet this week.
They are, but they aren't, because you got to remember, this isn't their realm. Their realm is pure performance.
And once they put that boy on the court, they're gonna be okay.
And they have
wins that 3-point contest.
They have Steph. They have Steph competing in the 3-point contest. His shoe drops on Friday, and he's the highest vote getter of all the All-Stars in the entire NBA this year. They don't need to do.
Well, that's why I thought they would be a little bit more active because of that.
But they're squarely in their realm on court.
They're in their realm, performance.
They have a big boutique presence, and they love that. They loved it because their whole thing is hung on performance.
Yep. And that we know for a fact. They don't care about the cool guy and the hype beast stuff. They've never cared about. If they did, Under Armour would be sold in boutiques already.
That's true.
And I know boutique owners who have said to me, "Can you help me get an Under Armour account?" And I've looked right back at them and said, "No." They're like, "Why? They're sneakers." I said, "They're performance sneakers.
Yep.
You don't sell performance gear. What good are you going to do?" Cricket, 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 cricket. So there is another realm and layer to this industry where it really is back to performance and what shoes can do for the consumer who actually buys them. And that's where Under Armour stays strong. Under Armour shoes for the last couple of years do not let people down. They might not sell as much as other people's shoes, but when people buy them and the apparel, they're happy, especially women.
And a bona fide, you got a bona fide superstar leading back to the pedigree of athletic apparel, which is to perform.
Yep.
That goes big.
I want to applaud. I know we've been saying how Adidas is won All-Star Weekend, and Yeezy basically stole it. But I want to applaud Reebok because they're really consistent right now with the anniversary of the ventilator, the Melody of Sonny, the Kendrick thing, the sneakers and stuff, pop-up shop. I mean, they're coming with the quality, they're coming consistent, and I just think that deserves recognition.
Okay, so allow me to respectfully challenge you on that.
Mm-hmm.
First question. Ever since we heard Kendrick signed to Reebok, what have we seen?
We've seen him in the Ventilator OG, and we've seen him in the Ventilator reflective pack.
Okay, we've seen him wearing sneakers.
He
We've
won't-
seen him wearing sneakers that he's obligated to wear. But
He's
what have
the
we seen
front
from
man
Kendrick?
for the Ventilator line, and he'll have a deeper hand as the anniversary continues. I think he'll probably have his own Ventilator or something of the like.
But at this particular moment, what is Kendrick doing for Reebok?
I mean, he's appeared in the Ventilator OG and the new.
No, I get you. I get you. He's obligated to wear that stuff. So anywhere he is, people are going to take his picture whether he is with Reebok or not. What I'm saying is, what has Reebok done to get people excited about Kendrick and Reeboks at the moment? That's number one why they lose, because it's taking you that long to answer me. Number two, why they lose?
I answered you. You're looking.
But that ventilator, I don't think the ventilator's doing enough. He's not moving the needle in those ventilators.
But that answer that you gave me, again, is still based on the fact that now that he's signed to Reebok, they gave him some pairs of shoes to wear. Here, Kendrick, show everybody you're on the team now.
Uh-huh.
And this was the same guy that the same time last year said, I'm going back to strictly wearing Nike Cortez because all this other shit is bullshit to me.
Right.
So
And he just had his big Grammy moment too. He could have done the same as Adidas.
Was he rocking the ventilators in the Grammy?
I don't know.
See?
I don't know.
No,
Well, he did rock to one of the parties.
I want to say this. This is my point here. We stay up to date on a lot of sneaker news and sneaker releases.
We do.
With Adidas, with Nike, with Jordan, and I just want, what I've been seeing from Reebok this year, the quality, the consistency, I'm impressed. That's all I'm saying.
No, they're making good sneakers.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm impressed with the quality. I'm impressed that they finally opened up their archive a bit and attempted to bring some things to light. But they're dangerously close to towing the line that Nike does with the retros, in that they're just an archival brand with different color ups now.
Okay, let me speak my point here. The quality, the leather, all leather size ventilators, the garb store ventilators, and dual pump, the Melody Asani, that duffel that came with the OG ventilator. Like, that's all quality stuff I wasn't expecting to see. You know,
I
right
think,
now, right
yeah,
now
yeah.
the market's oversaturated. A lot of people are kind of waiting for it to bottom out or beating a dead horse, and I mean they're coming consistent with the quality. I was very surprised to see that.
Here's my issue with Reebok, though. They could have, by the neck, entire head, entire upper torso, Reebok could have taken New York City by storm and crushed everybody. All they would have had to do is do a CrossFit Games for athletes right in Times Square.
Yeah, kind of like Puma did last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
And Reebok would have taken over the entire
And
weekend, because when CrossFit is in town,
and that's the point I was gonna make, paper, is the boutique stuff doesn't move the needle for me. For me, the boutique stuff is almost like a hipster coffee shop. You in
right?
there being cool and talking to your friends and only selling coffee to your friends. You're not moving the needle outside of that. The CrossFit Games is actually their wider scope.
Yep,
Something like that where it gets back to actual performance
they would have
moves the
won.
needle because it's more global.
Yep, they would
But
have
it,
taken this
like,
entire weekend with that.
but the big brother isn't going to let little brother outshine him like that.
They wouldn't have had to ask permission because
And
CrossFit, now Nike is making CrossFit shoes
They
to
wouldn't have
match
had to ask
Reebok.
permission to do a CrossFit Games.
Nope.
You just wouldn't have stopped that. They can't. They'd be stupid.
I don't know.
They'd be stupid to stop what the brand's core mission is from selling.
And like I said, I respect what you're saying with the materials and things. I just think that on the boutique level, that's too small to say they're moving the needle the right way.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
almost expected.
And
And
the
like I
reason
said, that's hipsters selling stuff to other hipsters, really.
and the reason why the boutique stuff, even though it's good, and I have a lot of boutique stuff, and it is good stuff, you know, I have questions, pumps, all like I have all of that, and I get that, and I see what that hype is, with the lines around the corner and stuff. But this weekend, they have no athletes on the court.
And that's what it comes down to.
Well, let me say this as a huge fan of the ventilator. I love the ventilator. It's one of my favorite Reebok silhouettes. I'm very happy to see some of the stuff that they're coming out with. Unfortunately, my biggest issue with Reebok, and has been my biggest issue with Reebok for a while, is they're not coming out with anything quality that's new. All they're doing is reaching into their vault, pulling stuff out.
Yeah.
And we could say what we want to say about Nike, but the bottom line is, yeah, they're pulling stuff out of their vault, but they still have a lot of new shoes. And I don't know about y'all, I'm still a fan of the new shoes.
Well,
What are you
Reebok,
coming out with that's new?
that's
A
Reebok.
new
Listen,
silhouette. What are you
this
coming
their
out with
CrossFit, their
that's
CrossFit
different?
stuff is new.
Yeah, the CrossFit stuff is new, but they don't really market their CrossFit stuff
Right.
out there to the masses. CrossFit. I know a couple people who are really into the CrossFit thing, and they market very heavily towards the CrossFit market. But
You're right.
they don't look for the crossover.
If they
And the
were
thing
smart,
is,
yeah.
unless you're going to look for that stuff, it's hard to find that CrossFit stuff.
If they were smart, they would pull. Nah, I'm not gonna get that one to them.
No, don't give him that one. Don't give him that one. Don't give him that one.
Somebody might be listening because I got a golden one. I got
Yeah,
a
don't
golden.
give him that one. Reebok holla.
Yeah, CTC Reebok CTC.
But see, Reebok has a connection to a lifestyle. Like, I have this one dude I told you guys before, who works with us at the job. But whenever you see him, it could be a 2-minute elevator conversation or 5 minutes at your desk. He is all CrossFit. He says nothing about food, clothes, the sun, the moon, whether he can print, what kind of phone. He says CrossFit. He talks CrossFit
Right.
for the amount of time that he has your ears.
Yeah.
That's
And I have two coworkers like that, and all they do on the weekends is travel all over the country to different
Right.
CrossFit events that they have, and their CrossFit. I mean, they Reebok everything. They Reebok to the death, and these people are not into sneakers at all, but they're into CrossFit, and Reebok owns CrossFit. You know what I mean? They own that whole realm. But the thing is, like, I asked them, hey, where do you get your stuff from? And a lot of this stuff they actually get from the events, because And Reebok is so prominent at these events. They sell the stuff at the events. They
Yep.
give some of the stuff away.
Yep.
But this stuff is not. It's not in your
Well,
average
and
Champ. It's not in
I
your
think
average
this
Foot
is,
Locker. It's not in
and
the
this
places
is
where the average a consumer goes to buy their
And
stuff.
this is why I like that we're talking about this, because we get so focused on the fashion side, and we have to admit that we're talking about Kanye, we're talking about boutique releases and
Right?
higher materials. Well, really, there's a whole set. Actually, I'd say a good 75% of the industry don't care a shit what we're talking about on this kind of show because of CrossFit, track and field, cross
Yep.
country,
Yep.
volleyball. They're moving units and kind of chuckling at us like, look at the guys over there talking about fashion. Because
Hmm.
there's a huge portion of the industry that's
You
moving.
and
Adidas just launched their Ultra Boost, which is about to shut the running game down. And guess who was caught wearing a pair on his way from the gym? Nobody but Yeezy. I'm like, God damn it. Now I gotta hurry up and buy the shoe before some hype beast sees that one.
know what? You know what's funny? It's funny that you say that, ridiculous, because when you guys were talking about the fashion thing, I think last week's show,
Hmm.
I don't know shit about fashion. I'm that dude that y'all talk about who can't dress because I'm a black t-shirt, black jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like look, I'm 6'4", 300. I'm not into no fashion shit. I'm just
You
not.
lie.
You know
You
what I'm saying?
lie. I've seen you dressed up. Stop lying.
Yeah, I know how to dress a little bit, but the thing is, I'm not into fashion. I'm into the performance because I came from that. I came from getting up, running 2 miles. I came from playing basketball. So yeah, I want to see Reebok on the court. I want to see what Reebok has as far as performance. I'm not into the fashion.
Hmm.
I
That's
can give a
why
damn about the
that's
fashion
why
aspect, and that's the reason why I'm prominent this week and not last week.
and I'm with you because that's where when Paper first asked the question, and I boldly said I think Under Armour's winning this weekend because aside from the ads and all of that, there's a bona fide superstar with the top votes in the NBA for All Star voting, about to maybe win the 3-point contest, launching a new shoe. Like when we talk about performance, there's one company ready to perform. That's Under Armour
Good
in the
point. Great
arena.
point. Great point.
Hmm.
Great point.
Yep.
No, I don't agree with that.
Well. Here's the other thing. Since I was about to half give it away, I might as well all the way give away what my thought was for Reebok, and hopefully, whoever the new owners are between now and next year, when there's another All Star, they can take my idea and do it and not give me credit, but I'll still be happy. You have all these celebrity basketball games and pickup games and all of this stuff that generates all this hype for the celebrities who can't play a lick of fucking basketball, but yet they get to get on the NBA regulation court and act like they can for a weekend. If they would have taken, Reebok, that is, would have taken some of the best stars and entertainers and athletes from wherever and got them all into a CrossFit Games. Something light, not where they can get killed or miss a movie. Something light, and
I'll
did
pay.
that and let them
Like Battle of
compete.
the Network All Stars. They used to
I
do
will pay
that.
to see that. I'll pay to see that.
Yeah, if they would have done that and
Yeah.
even televised it like they do the CrossFit Games, Reebok would have won this entire
And
week.
and Kadoma, I hear your point that you don't agree with that. Here's what I say about Under Armour having the top vote getter, the number one
Well,
NBA
no,
All
I'm
Star.
just saying it's not fair to say they're the only one.
No. I hear you. What I'm getting at is just in the arena of performance. How many people are going to stand outside the Token 38 store, and how many people are going to sit down Sunday night and watch that damn game? It's
Mhm.
not even a contest, but
No,
we get focused
but
myopically
Nike and
on the
Adidas have their
smaller.
performers too.
Of course they do. Of course they do. But it was your opinion. This is my opinion. Under Armour is winning because they have the number one NBA All
Yeah,
Star right
Kadoma,
now.
before you popped on, we asked the question. We posed the question to the Sole Doctors.
I agree. Adidas is winning. Yeezy's winning. He
We, we,
doesn't.
we
For
He
me,
doesn't
I
even.
think like
He doesn't even belong at All Star Weekend.
That's why he's winning.
Yeah.
exactly.
like I
So
said, I think long term, even just within the 2 weeks before and after, again, we're all informed on this show. I'm not talking out the side of my neck when I say this. I think Under Armour
No,
has a huge
I
stake
see
in
your
this game.
perspective. I see your perspective. But
Just
that's
because right after He's launching, and again, this is like I said, I go back to performance because after the hype dies down, and again, we get so focused on it. This is $1 billion industry. We're talking about a slice of it. We get so focused on it that there's billions of dollars that are about to be moved on a totally different front, still dealing with sneakers, and we don't talk about it.
We do, just not as often as we should.
Right.
But here's the interesting thing, and I hate to say this, and it came to my realization simply because Jesse joined us. And to further your point, Ridiculous, about UA. Hi, Jesse.
Happy belated.
Happy birthday, happy belated from Kadoma, Jesse. But the part that aggravates me about what plays into Ridiculous's point is who won the Super Bowl?
Under Armour. Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said Uggs. He said Uggs
Who won the Super Bowl? And that was a great lead-in for them because they had a guy who reached the pinnacle of success in that sport.
Yeah.
And they have now, for All-Star Weekend, somebody's at the pinnacle of success, individually at this point.
Right.
For his sport.
That's all I'm saying. Is like if you were to liken this to corporate America, somebody just got a raise at middle management, and the fat cat is way up on the 40th floor, and who just gave him that raise. Like we're celebrating a certain section of middle management in terms of sneakers when there is billions of dollars being moved. They just had the Africa Cup this past weekend. It was massive. Okay, that's a huge win for Puma and Adidas. Nobody talked about that.
Yeah.
But somebody made billions of dollars off of that.
Yeah.
We got to open our view a little.
That's true.
So is it safe to say we should have tiered the question to two levels? Who won in terms of performance, and who won in terms of the overall hype machine?
No, I think we framed it the right way because then we take the question of hype out of it and we force everyone to look at the facts. Like I fully agree that Adidas is killing it right now because of their marketing, because of the Yeezy thing, because of all of that. They're doing a great job. It's just a big pie. I think not categorizing the question forces everyone to look at the fact that it is a very large pie. And while someone might be winning the advertising game, somebody's going to be winning the sales game. And somebody's going to be winning another slice of that pie.
Good point. Good point. This is why you're a Sole Doctor. Show off ass.
Appreciate it, sir.
Show off ass.
I just do that when Jesse shows up.
So, Jesse.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Fresh off birthday celebrations.
Thank you.
Listen, I scrolled down as far as I could to see if you made TMZ. You didn't make it, bro.
Oh,
You gotta try harder for your birthday next year. Try harder for your birthday next year.
yeah, the hell of a week. Super Bowl victory and birthday.
We got 2 years until the good one, so I'll put it out there now. We'll just have the whole crew show up in New York for the good one. So you got 2 years to plan it right now.
OG, triple OG.
All right, so
You want me to weigh in on this?
yeah. Well, the question was, and we're gonna keep it within the framework of how we originally asked it. We're gonna let you weigh in, and then we're gonna get ready to wrap up. We gotta let Kadoma put out the particulars for the summit and everything else before we wrap up. But the question was, of the 5 brands that are on full tilt heading into All-Star Weekend with everything going on in New York and with all roads leading to New York for All-Star Weekend, you got Nike, Jordan Brand, Puma, Adidas, Under Armour, and Reebok all finding their own unique way of getting attention in New York. Who's winning right now? And who will win the weekend?
Who's answering that?
I asked with Jesse first, and then you can weigh in, Tariq. We didn't see you on screen for a minute.
Yeah, I'm not on the screen. I'm talking.
So you want to know the whole weekend now, or leading into it, and then who's going to win?
Your
the weekend?
prediction. Your prediction.
Leading into it, and who's going to win in the end?
Leading into it, Nike led into it. Nike led into it because they had a stronger, I believe, social media presence and viewership into what's about to start happening over the weekend. Who's going to win it? Adidas is going to smash it. And they're going to smash it simply because, like Ridiculous said, they're getting exposure on multiple levels. There's going to be entertainers at that game. The Kanye thing is going to jump off. The Kanye thing is going to lead to Fashion Week. They're hitting a lot of different angles, which is good. That's not going to necessarily move their sales needle. But we're talking simply exposure for a 3-day weekend or 4-day weekend. That's the biggest, one of the biggest sports events in the world. They've got it. They've got it covered.
Yeah,
got it covered. And all the other ones don't. Not that they don't matter, but this is a good case study for us to look at and see that there are other people trying to carry on each other. So soon as we realized that the Adidas, the Kanye was going to launch, everybody else is like, "Yo, we got to do something." You know what I mean? Look at what Puma did. Puma's like, "We got to do something now. Get some treadmills and put them in the street." You know what I mean? So like, "Yo, we got to do something. Call up Packer. Let's have an event." Like, what? No, that's not even on the scale of what happened with the Grammys and the shoe and everything else. You're not even coming close. So, kudos for you to trying to get in the game, but also it's like, give your brand more respect than that. If you're gonna have a plan for the All-Star game, freaking do it. If you're not, then you're not, and it'll show.
All right, Tariq.
I think the Yeezy is a good jump start for Adidas, as you know, but I think overall the lead up to me on the ground, like in the street, Nike is everywhere here right now. Like between that damn shoebox and the other spot they got in Brooklyn, I think the Yeezy is cool, but I don't think it's gonna hold the weekend down though. For Adidas.
Well, that's one shoe, but with everything else Adidas has going on, take that into consideration. Not look at just one shoe.
I'm telling you, they launched that Ultra Boost this weekend. Like,
hey, though, what's it called? Did anybody else get this Adidas catalog from East Bay?
I saw it. I didn't get it.
That's a good indicator of like this is more Grammy-ish though, because they got a lot of rappers or whatever. And I think overall Nike wins it on the ground, and I think like Ridiculous was saying with the Under Armour situation, that's a good look to have what's his face playing and then him being the star.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry. That's a big move. That's big for them. I think overall Nike gonna pull it out, man.
You know what? Tariq brings up a good point, and Paper, you bring up a good point too about having a business mind. For you to have a win, that doesn't mean you have to win the whole weekend. You can go on margin for percentages of, you know.
Yeah, it's broken up.
Yeah, we expect Nike to get their chunk, but for Under Armour to get a 30% share of this weekend, that's major for them. You know, for a company to move the needle in their category, that would be another way to frame the question, or at least frame how we think about it. Is on margin, how much of an improvement are you making?
Yeah.
How much of a splash are you making? Again, they might not win the whole weekend, and I think that qualifies my answer a little bit better. I said Under Armour because in terms of how much of the needle they can move, they have more headspace. Nike, you know what they're going to do. Adidas, they had Yeezy. But for Under Armour, them getting that marquee, coming off of the marquee Super Bowl win, their needle is bouncing, while $1 billion Nike's needle is just fluttering, doing what it do, but it's not moving the way that Under Armour has the headspace.
That's a what, $28 billion flutter? Ain't nobody mad at that.
No, I hear you. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is, okay, look, Jesse, you're into fitness. Here we go. I'll frame it like this. You go on The Biggest Loser, right? You, Jesse, you're on The Biggest Loser with a 500-pound man. Okay, percentage-wise, you ain't got shit to lose compared to him. he could drop 10% of his weight, and that's your whole body weight.
Yeah.
So on margin, a large company like a Nike, sure, they're making millions and maybe billions, but in terms of what we perceive, everybody already expects that out of them. But for Under Armour to have that kind of win with a marquee player in that arena, in the cauldron of it all, so when all is said and done, everyone goes to Madison Square to see, to Barclays Center to see the game.
And Madison Square.
So the reason that everyone is there, it comes down to on that court.
But you know what, Steve, you just brought up a good point, because he's going to be in the three-point contest, which is in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. The All-Star game is in Manhattan.
Yeah. So to me, Under Armour is like, screw your boutique. We got the two biggest venues in town when all is said and done.
Under Armour has clearly played their lane, and their lane is we are going to be that performance thing that Nike has decided not to be anymore. And we are going to crush it.
Right.
We are going to be at the All-Star game. We're going to be at the three-point contest. That's what we're going to be, because we're going to move our sales needle. While Nike and Jordan both watch that needle and hope they don't get swallowed up.
Right.
Because their needle is not moving.
Hey, hold on.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, in the street and what they doing at that damn sneaker box, Under Armour can't move no sale needle this weekend as much as Nike gonna move it.
They're not trying to.
This weekend. No, they're not trying to move it this weekend.
They're not trying to.
I'll tell you what.
I gotta disagree with that, Tariq. Can you see the screen?
Hold on.
No, can you see me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Okay, so you're saying that I think like Nike's meter is way up here. And like they're gonna move, but they're already up there.
That's my point.
That's my point.
That's my point.
I think what Steve is saying is Under Armour's needle is about to get more movement.
Their needle
they may not hit Nike levels, but they're getting a lot of movement.
Yep.
I think what this weekend is the jump start to move their needle. Like the Super Bowl was a jump start. You know how you got that motorcycle that don't turn over yet? That was one kick.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend is another kick. And then, Steph Curry's continuously killing the game is more kicks. They not started yet.
Let me put it to you like this. At the end of the day, when you tally it up, who's going to win more battles and who's going to have a bigger bang? Nike's always got nice bang.
To me,
Under Armour is winning battles. The Super Bowl, the All-Star game, and watch for the Olympics.
And on percentage.
All those little battles that add up,
that's what I'm saying. That's the little kicks.
That's what I'm saying is on percentage, they have more. Okay, for instance, if you work in direct mail, you can send out 100,000 pieces. And if you get a 1% return on that direct mail, you consider it a win. You don't need a 100% return to consider it a win. That's why I said Under Armour. Me personally said Under Armour because.
Well, let me ask about who is out here. What sneaker is people like going ape shit for up there, Tariq? Because I know down here, and see, I'm curious to say that because I know New York is a whole nother beast as far as All-Star Weekend. I mean, I've been to a couple of different All-Star Weekends, but I know Houston was crazy. I know Atlanta was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But New York, as far as the sneaker industry, to have the All-Star game in New York, I know it's a totally different beast. So I'm curious to know, is there anything that people are really going ape shit for?
Okay.
Because I know down here.
Hold on. Listen. Sean can attest probably a little bit more than me, but that Jordan 4 is on the list. The Laser 4, that pack or whatever, that Chrome Air Foam Posit, but then nobody knew about the gold Air Posit Foam Posit at the shoebox. The Yeezy gonna be on the list.
That's why I'm asking because
I'm agreeing with Tariq to say this. Nothing has changed in New York.
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing. And you know what? It's funny that you say that because down here, nothing has changed. Because as much as Yeezy is getting all the national attention, all the sneakerheads and all the people who go for these kicks, who are all at the different venues, who are constantly after these kicks, the kicks that they're after more than anything else is that chrome damn foam and that laser 4.
Here in the
I
Midwest,
had so many people hit me up, and when people found out that chrome foam is only coming out up there and online, like I personally know about 6 or 7 people who ain't never bought a bot, who are buying bots to try to get this shit.
here in the Midwest, there are 100 times more soccer moms with kids in league ball than there will ever be sneakerheads.
Yep. Now here's a funny email. Here's a funny Facebook email that I got during the show from someone. Not blowing anybody up, but I'm just gonna put it out there for fact. And this is from somebody who doesn't watch the show. And number 2, I've never even known them to ever be seen in a pair of sneakers. If I go through this person's Facebook page, I don't even see sneakers in anything, right? This person just Facebook emailed me and asked me to help them get 3 pairs of Yeezys. Person doesn't watch the show, is not into sneakers. I've never seen the person personally wearing sneakers. Just asked me to help them get 3 pairs of Yeezys.
I don't even want that.
Hey, you know what's worse is when it's a long lost family member that does that.
No, but I say that to say the as much as things appear different based on the perspective we put it in, and based on Leo's question, things are still the same.
Yeah.
The hype sneakers, sneakers are the ones they want, and that's it.
Right.
Hey, you know what? When I with Leo asking the question, I kind of think your question is good, but I kind of think it should be like broken up into tiers, because it's like
no, it's
I kind of think so, because you gotta if you go about it by the weekend, if you go about okay, who's gonna win shoe wise?
Man, if we dissect it too much, we'll be here forever.
And like I said, to dissect it into tiers, I think takes the responsibility off of us to talk intelligently about it. I think we've gotten more out of this show by that general question because we've talked about all those tiers without letting any one brand or any one marketing machine off the hook.
Fact.
Yeah, I got you.
Fact. So D didn't weigh in, but I'm looking forward to hearing his opinion on the OSD Live website. That's where I want to see D's opinion.
Oh man.
That's right. You ain't off the hook.
Okay.
So tomorrow,
I did get a call. I did get a call for somebody wanting, like, they was like, hey, can you get those Jordan 4s?
Yeah.
And it was
I've got several calls about all of them.
This is the first time I've heard about the Jordan 4.
Really?
What?
Yep. People
down here going ape shit for these things down here.
People down
Somebody
here
called me from
Chicago. Foams, they want the Yeezy.
Yeah, honestly, just before the show, I saw the Chrome Posit.
That's all they talk about down here: Chrome Posit and the damn the 4.
Why?
And like the past weekend, everybody went crazy for the Laser 1. The Laser 1 went crazy. Everybody went crazy for that shit.
Laser 1s didn't do nothing down there.
So for disorderlies who want to hear D Wells' opinion,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned to the OSD Live website, OSDLive.com, where he'll gladly share his opinion on who he thinks out of the 5 brands we mentioned will be doing the best at the end of All-Star Weekend. Kadoma.
Mr. Kadoma, exactly. What's going on, man?
By all means, please put out the details.
Man, we are wrapping it up. It's been a long, hard road, but we are finally coming back to New York for the 3rd annual All-Star Sneaker Summit going down Sunday. So after you're done, going to all these free activations and copping all the sneakers, our event does not come open until Sunday 3 p.m. So you got all the time in the world to get it together and come by the Altman Building, 135 West 18th Street, right between 6th and 7th Ave. It's a 15-minute walk from MSG or Flight Club. You can take the trains from MSG or Jersey.
Yep.
I think the MSG train's only 5 minutes.
Yep.
But we got about 5 tables left. So we sold pretty good on tables. and I'm expecting them to sell out before Sunday. We're expecting a lot of people in the building. You know, what I can tell you is DJ Beauty and the Beats, 13-year-old female DJ Phenom.
She nasty.
Yeah, you need to come see her. We'll also have our good friend Bobito Garcia in the building.
Cool Bob Love, what up, baby?
After he hosts the Nike basketball tournament all weekend, make sure you go check him out there as well. And then we also have DJ Ski coming all the way out from the West Coast.
Yep.
So we may have a few more names in the building, but that's all I can talk about right now.
Well, to add to that, Kadoma, we got to make sure people know that Laced Up, the sneaker documentary, will be in the building. If you haven't seen Laced Up, the sneaker documentary yet, and you want to own a copy, this weekend might be a chance to do that. But until then, if you just can't wait, head over to laced-up.com and get that pay-per-view stream of it. And we got to send a shout-out, too, to Come Clean Soap. They'll be in the building with their legendary, world-renowned sneaker soaps now. And they'll be holding it down for sneaker lovers with some of the interesting variations of sneaker soap.
So, yeah, and you get to meet some of us OSD cast and crew disorderlies. You know, come up and say what's up. Like Sean likes to say, we're not mythical beasts.
Nope.
You know, we also got, if you're in the New York area, we also got Power 105 giving away some of those VIP tickets, limited to 100 tickets.
Yep.
And they'll have some of their family out there. So that's what's up, man. We've been working pretty hard, and hopefully it'll be a good event to cap off a great weekend.
That's right. Sneakersummit.com. Get your details. Don't play around. I don't want to hear no complaints from nobody. Oh, the summit was here.
Yeah, especially those vendors. We had a lot of vendors that, you know, walk up to the door last year in New Orleans that, hey, y'all got any tables left? Like, I don't think that's going to happen this time around. We already sold out a table once, and, you know, I worked with the venue to get some more space in there, and those are almost gone. So if you know somebody on the fence, or if you're procrastinating about getting a table, you need to do that, like, now.
Niggersummit.com. Don't play around.
Don't play. Don't play.
The Altman building has big windows, so if you get caught on the outside, you get to look inside and see what's going on.
No, not exactly.
There's hurts, then there's not exactly.
We doing a little decoration.
You putting up bed sheets like in college? You can't see it in our club.
Oh, man. All right. So, episode number 337, talking about NBA All-Star 2015, is about to come to a close. This distinguished panel of Sole Doctors you see here, you can find all of them on social media through various social media outlets. We are no hiders. We are definitely out and prevalent. If you got any questions about the show, anything that you want us to discuss, anything you want to weigh in on that you didn't get a chance to, even if you watched the show after tonight's live broadcast, make sure you hit us up, info@OSD Live, and we'll be glad to address the email that you send us. So, D. Wells, it's time for us to roll out, my man.
It's time for us to roll out. It's definitely been fun. Y'all make sure you walk and talk with us next week. Come back. Tell your people. If you're venturing out into New York, come check us out. Come say hello. We want to meet with you. We want to break bread with you. We want to actually know who you are behind the screen name and the handle. So until then, keep your laces tied tightly, your tongue loose, and what we say, walk good.
Word up.